Hi everybody, I hope you and yours are great. This week's Parsha is Parshat Bo, and it deals with the last three of the 10 plagues and many commandments related to the holiday of Passover, of Pesach. And one of them is Ushmartem es hamatzos, and you should guard and watch the matzos that they shouldn't become leavened. Don't let them sit and rise, and they become into chametz, something that we cannot consume on Pesach, on Passover. But our sages say something very interesting. Ushmartem es hamatzos, the spelling could also be, you should guard the mitzvos, the commandments. And what our sages say is just like by matzah, where you don't let the dough rise to become leavened bread, so too by mitzvahs, don't let it rise. What does that mean? Well, it means that when the mitzvah comes to your hand, don't say, oh, I'll do it later, tomorrow, another time, I'm not in the mood, I don't have the time. Mitzvah haba liyadcha, the mitzvah that comes to your hand, al tachmitzena, don't let it become chametz. Do it right away. Jump to the opportunity. Grab it. And I thought about if the mitzvah comes to your hand, that the 5 fingers could give us 5 points on what we can do to really jump at the opportunity to fulfill the commandments. Number 1 would be look for the opportunities. There's so many opportunities to help to do something good for somebody else, and so many opportunities we just miss it because we don't see, we don't look, and we have to keep our eyes open. I had a friend of mine who was driving, and he saw a lady by the corner getting off the curb, getting back on the curb, getting off the curb, getting on the curb. An elderly lady, and it didn't make sense. What was she doing? It didn't look like she was exercising. So he pulled over and he said, ma'am, what are you doing? He says, well, I try to cross the street, but by the time I get off the curb, it already starts blinking, don't walk. And he realized very sensitively that she needed help crossing the street, and that's what he did. But many people drove by and saw this lady doing it, didn't realize anything. We have to look for opportunities. Number 2 would be the power of every moment. Don't waste it. Use it fully. Don't let it slip by. You can't make it up later, because later maybe the opportunity isn't there, and even if there is that opportunity, we could have missed another opportunity because you should have done this opportunity earlier. There was a very special Jew named Rabbi Getzelberger from London, and he sees in the synagogue on one Friday night a Hasidic boy come in without his Hasidic hat, and he goes over and says, what happened? Where's your hat? He says, well, actually I was on the bus and some anti-Semites took my hat and threw it out the window. And he says, that's terrible. What are you going to do? He says, no, the police happened to be there right away, and they made them give me the money for a new hat, so I'm okay. Now, most of us would have said, well, I'm so glad, I'm happy you got the money. He said, you know what? I'm going to do better. And he told him, come with me, I'm going to take you. And he took him shopping, and he bought him a new hat, and he bought him a new suit. Obviously, he probably didn't have a lot of money anyway, but he didn't just get away with, oh, well, the guy got the money from the cops, so everything's fine. No, he looked for the mitzvah. He jumped to the opportunity. Number 3, think of others before yourself. Don't think of your own convenience and your own mood and your own time. Always look to see what you can give to others and put them as a greater priority than yourself. Number 4, think out of the box. Be creative in helping. Do whatever you can to really go the extra mile. There's a beautiful story of Rabbi Levine. Rabbi Levine was a great tzaddik in Yerushalayim, and he would visit Jewish soldiers that were imprisoned by the British. And one day he came there, and the British soldier said, you can't come in. He says, no, I have to visit them. He said, no, you're getting paid anyway. What's the difference to you? Go ahead, go home. Rabbi Levine went around the building till he found a place where he could climb into the prison and visit his fellow Jews to give them strength and encouragement. And the soldier saw this. He said, hey, that rabbi, he's not doing it for the money. He's doing it because he really wants to help. He didn't just say, take no as an answer, and he climbed into the prison to meet with the prisoners. And finally, sanctify Hashem's name. Make a kiddush Hashem. Always look for opportunities to see what you can do. The Vorka Rebbe, a great Hasidic master, said something very beautiful. A Jew should always be running, either running to do a mitzvah or running away from a sin. And finally, Rav Chaim Oizer, the great Lithuanian scholar and tzaddik, a man was inspired to help somebody, and the person said, what's the rush? Why you feel so special? Wait till tomorrow. He says, no. I saw Reb Chaim Oizer after a major fast day where he hadn't eaten for 25 hours, and he was on his way home to get something to eat, and 40 people lined up for questions and things and help that they needed from him. And he calmly and warmly and with patience answered all of their questions before he took a bite. He put them first. And therefore this man said, I was inspired by that. I have to do the same. Try to help people right away and not wait a moment. So when the mitzvah comes your way, look for it, see it, grab it. Don't let it fall away. Don't let it slip away. Don't let it rise. And in that merit, we're going to get a lot of credit in the divine bank account of keeping on looking and doing Hashem's commandments and opportunities for acts of loving kindness to help people, and we'll become very rich in the most beautiful spiritual way. Have a wonderful Shabbos. All the best. Take care.